Hello guys and welcome to my new video. I just woke up and I kind of realized what do I need in my life, and I need more drama. I need more drama. I need more World of Warcraft related drama time, and today we're going to be covering some sort of sensitive topic of exploitation, hacking, making use of bugs in terms of personal gains and things like that, and I'll be covering about a topic where a lot of people got banned. And let's get to it, guys. Let's go straight to the reason why so many people got banned in the last 2 days. You might even know a person or two who got, like, from what I'm aware of, it's a 2-day ban, 7-day ban, or a month ban. So depending on how badly you exploited this, you might get a whole month ban, and you might miss the start of Crucible of Storms and things like that. So the book itself, Draught of the 10 Lands, you see here, this is a leveling potion that increases all stats and experience gained by 10%. Now this potion by itself is only supposed to stack once. You're only supposed to use it once on your character, but if you kind of use this in a special way, if you split up the stacks, you're able to use it as many times as you want. And you can see here, you can stack it as much. You can stack it to absurd amount of times, where all of a sudden you might have like crazy amount of experience gain. Your character from 110 to 120 might take 1 or 2 hours to level fully. And this was available for around 2 or 3 days. Blizzard didn't say anything about it, didn't tweet about it. People were aware of it quite quickly because there's quite a few people, quite a few big names in World of Warcraft, or let's say famous people in World of Warcraft and things like that. They were using it, they were streaming it. It became really popular. People would start using it. And just like exploits beforehand, there's quite a few exploits that I talked about on this channel before. There was Temple of Satralis exploit, which actually went unpunished at all. For the people unaware of the Temple of Satralis issues that happen, is basically you're able to go to the very end of the boss, able to get the buff that the boss gives to everybody, 90% damage reduction, like 90% haste or whatever. It was something absurd, and you were able to finish the whole dungeon like that. And they were like, you know, some of the really high keys were being done with this exploit. There was nothing done about that. Nothing whatsoever. I think maybe Rated.io removed some of the top leader scores, but that's it. And then there were previous exploits, like, you know, the Ibis World Boss exploit, where you're able to loot the boss multiple times and things like that. People were banned if they were excessively exploiting that. Then there were multiple other bugs that Blizzard either banned you for or just didn't do anything about it. So I can see why people were kind of taking a risk with this, because you never really know how Blizzard is going to approach these hacks or these exploits, because sometimes they ban you for it, sometimes they either take the experience or the AP away from you. Remember back in the day, or at least again at the start of BfA, there was also Island Expedition exploit, where you're able to do Island Expeditions, and Island Expeditions were giving you, like, I can't remember, like 10 times the amount of AP that it was supposed to. So I think they just taken away the AP from the people, they didn't ban them. So that's what I mean. I can see why people were kind of risking it. Where the people who had nothing to lose or whatever, they were like, I don't really care if I get banned, I'm just gonna do this, see if I do get banned or not, and I'm gonna level my characters. And I can see that, because a lot of people are kind of annoyed about the BfA. But at the end of the day, there is absolutely no justification for people who got banned to be angry. There is absolutely no reason for them to be angry. Let's be honest, if you're putting on 20 potions on your character, you know what you're doing, you're kind of preparing yourself to be banned or, you know, punished. There is no justification for you to be angry. There's no justification to be like, oh no, Blizzard, it's Blizzard's fault for not letting us know or whatever. It's an exploit. It has to be punished in some way or another. Or again, you never know how Blizzard is gonna punish you. Maybe they won't punish you, but if you did get banned from exploiting it, like 20 potions or whatever, come on, deep down in your heart, deep down, you knew that you were doing something wrong. You knew that something could have happened, that this is a dodgy mechanic that I'm using here. Like, you knew deep down you might get exploited, you might get banned for this. So I don't defend the people who got banned. I didn't use the exploit because I didn't need anyone leveled, and I'm usually very scared about these exploits, because this is the big reason. MDI time trials are happening right now. So the bans the ban wave happened yesterday. So the people who were preparing for MDI, the people who were preparing to, like, you know, there's tons of guilds who are pushing Mythic Jaina at the moment, and tons of those guilds and tons of MDI teams lost out teammates. They got banned. Doesn't matter if they got banned for 72 days, 72 hours or whatever. Doesn't matter if they got banned for a short period of time. The appeal process will take longer. You're basically out of the time trials. Now, in the time trials, there is like a thing where we can have a substitute, so I'm pretty sure MDI teams will be fine, or at least in the rules of MDI that tell you that you have a substitute and you can use that for the MDI Cup. They don't say anything about the time trials, but I'm assuming you can use a substitute for time trials. So the teams or MDI teams that lost one teammate should still be fine. I'm not 100% certain on this, but the thing is, this ban wave happening at this time before MDI has affected a lot of teams. There's a lot of Twitter posts. Max from Limit is basically tweeting about his teammate got the first account action against him ever, and it's for doing a single quest with the XP potion to see when it was first talked about. It's about exactly 50 hours suspension to make us unable for MDI, not enough time to appeal the first time trials. So and then he tweeted later on about that it's very possible now with 2 weeks of practice we can still do very well in the last 2 cups and still qualify for LAN while noticeable disadvantage. The major crime is one of our teammates didn't do anything wrong and can't compete for both seasons. So there is definitely, and then there's Twitter post from Josh as well. This is very, very serious. Josh, like, it didn't make a sense for my character to drink all 20 potions at once, so I separated them into individual stacks so it didn't drown, and now I'm banned. I feel very sorry for Josh. This is a real reason. This is the real reason why people were exploiting this. This is the real reason, and Josh explains perfectly. I like the responses here from his teammates, from Method as well. But either way, this is quite a hot topic right now in World of Warcraft community about how exploits should be handled. A lot of the people will, like, I agree with this. If you do something that's against the game, against the game's rules, there should be some punishable action happening. But I also see the point of, hey, multiple times there were bugs there, Blizzard didn't do anything about them. So there's not very consistent level of punishment happening towards each of these exploits. But anything to do with exploitation, anything to do with bugs in World of Warcraft is a very hot topic, and I know that a lot of people will agree with me that if you do something against the game rules, if you exploit the game in any way, there should be some sort of punishment attached to that crime and things like that. But you'll notice that it didn't always happen like this in the past, and you'll also know that at the higher end, at least this is speaking from my personal experience, at the higher end in Mythic rating and Mythic Plus content, the community is very much about finding the best ways, or finding ways to increase their time in Mythic Plus, find ways to, I don't want to say exploit, but a lot of the time, like when Tempest of Charles book first got discovered, I got asked on my Drew to do the exploit so many times by so many people in high-end Mythic Plus community and stuff like that. They were very, very open about using this exploit, even though there was a possibility of getting a ban. And I didn't do it because I'm very scared about these sort of things. I don't want to get my account banned before the raid starts, before Mythic is released, before the new Crucible of Storms is released, I stay away from all this because I never know how Blizzard is going to react. But again, I've seen a lot of people trying to do this exploit, the Temple of Satchalis exploit. I've seen a lot of people trying to do this exploit as well with the experience potions. And I feel in the high-end community as well, there's a lot of this trying to find the best ways of doing this key, trying to find ways best of doing this dungeon or raid or whatever. And a lot of people just go for it. Exploit fast, exploit early kind of deal. And they kind of deal with the consequences. I really love to hear your opinion about this exploit, whether it was justified to get like an 2-day, 7-day, a month ban as well. My personal opinion on this, I already mentioned this a couple of times. If you do the crime, you have to do the time. And I try to stay away from all these exploits. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't feel sorry for anybody who was in MDI teams who were progressing on Mythic Jaina and they were willingly or knowingly were putting on 20 potions on their alts and leveling them. I don't feel sorry for any of them missing MDI teams or missing Mythic Jaina progress because That is just plain stupid. If you're progressing on something really important at the moment, if you are a part of the MDI team with a group of teammates who rely on you, and then you go and do this crap with, like, you know, let's be honest, like I said this multiple times, if you're putting 20 potions on at the single time and you're getting this experience bonus, there is, you know, you're doing something wrong. So the people who really exploited this in MDI teams or in high progression guilds, I don't feel sorry at all for that. I'm gonna call you out on this. You are acting extremely stupid, and you let down your teammates, you let down your guilds and things like that for doing something so silly. Now there are certain exceptions where people just like I mentioned on Twitter, they were just trying to see if that was working, or like by accident, let's say, got banned and things like that. But people who willingly did that when they knew multiple people were relying on them, their group mates were relying on them, their raid mates were relying on them, and they still went with this, even though they knew there was the chance of getting banned and missing out on progression, missing out on Crucible of Storms raid, missing out on MDI. There's no one to blame but yourself. That's my honest opinion. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Thank you for watching this guide, and I'll see you in my next video.